Attention is required for perception. So where is mind here? Attention is a faculty of the mind, isn't it? If you are not paying attention to something, you are not going to perceive it even if it is there. You are looking at it, but you are not seeing it. So where does mind come into the picture? So yoga will give you this answer. Perception takes place when the mind catches the object, as it were. Mind is involved in this act of perception. The mind, the object, as it were, impinges on the mind. Mind draws the object within your system, and it modifies according to the nature of that object. This modification is called a vritti. It's a very important concept in yoga. Try to understand this. According to the object, the mind modifies. Vritti means a whirl. It modifies according to the object. And this mind is self-aware, isn't it? Awareness is already invested in the mind. So this invested awareness, technically it is called Chidabhas, which means mental awareness. You feel a sense of aliveness, you see, when you think. This mental awareness illumines this vritti. The mental awareness, what is its source? It is reflected awareness. The source is the Atman, consciousness standing behind the mind. That consciousness gets reflected in the mind, Chidabhas is created, which means mental awareness is generated, that illumines this vritti, and that is how you know the object. This is the explanation which yoga gives you. So look at this image here. You have the object, and then the same process, it's going to the brain, the light from the object, and there mind becomes involved. See, try to understand it like this. The mind is, the brain is the physical template, as it were, of the mind. The brain is the hardware, mind is the software. So the essential process is happening in the mind, because the mind draws the object and modifies itself according to the object, creates the vritti. Now if this impression is very deep, it translates neurophysiologically into an engram in your brain. It's a sort of a etch on your brain due to the perceptive process, due to the repetition of that. And as a result, what happens? The vritti in the mind is illumined by consciousness, by awareness, and as a result you feel you know that object. So they work in coordination, the brain, mind, awareness. So immediately you feel you have perceived that object, you know that object. So this is the yogic explanation. Now what are the extra factors involved here? Mind is involved, faculty of attention is involved. All this science is not explaining, isn't it? The creation of vritti, the illumination of that vritti through the Chidabhas, through awareness, and thus you know. So this is the yoga on perception, the yogic process on perception. Now the important things to note here is, we all know mind is absolutely required for perception, isn't it? Without mind you cannot perceive. If you are mindless at some particular moment, maybe you dozed off during a class, you are not going to see what is happening. You are not going to feel or experience anything there. Mind, what exactly happens with the mind? This is the explanation here. And I told you, at the heart of the perceptive process is consciousness. Because your real nature is consciousness, that got reflected in the mind and became the sense of aliveness, as it were, which you feel in the mind. The mental awareness which you generally feel, which accompanies thought, which makes your thoughts things for you, as it were. You experience your thoughts. That mental awareness, these are the factors which are absolutely required for the perceptive process according to yoga. That is why you actually get the experience of the object right within you. You are experiencing everything where? Within you. Please see. The object may be outside of you, but you are experiencing it where? Within you. You don't experience it there. You experience it right within you. And that is why yoga will bring in mind, it brings in awareness and gives you an additional, something added to science as to how perception is taking place.